No, I'm not. I mean, it's not like I'm going to complain if I do, but yep, I figured I'd be doing like a 1 to 2 hour stream and then go to bed because I got stuff to do tomorrow. So, this is where it starts, as per usual. Oh, gotta make sure that that's in plain view again, so everybody can see it. For entertainment purposes, obviously. So out of curiosity, have you noticed that any of your Spydercos... Yeah, you're not wrong. If it gets good, I'll stay on longer, but you know, it depends on who shows up. I need to practice sharpening a different way. The push cut sharpening, whatever you want to call that. I wanted to ask if you've ever had the issue that I'm having with this, where I fidget with it and then the pivot comes loose. I'll probably need some Loctite for it, or maybe Teflon tape. Might try that instead. Just out of curiosity, because I think it might be cheaper and less permanent and possibly reusable. If it's reusable, there's no way it's not going to be cheaper than Loctite. I also greased the PM2. So I never use Loctite, because I take my stuff apart so often, I feel like it's just a waste. Like this thing got some rust on it earlier today, so I'm probably going to take it apart anyway, but I did notice that the Para 3 specifically likes to come loose. So I was looking into the okay, well, I take them apart constantly. I don't torque them down or anything. I just take them apart, do a little bit of cleaning, put them back together. Right here. A little bit of residue right there too. Ground fog, what's up? So the rust is right here. There's a little bit of rust right there that I'm trying to take off. So isopropyl alcohol, as per usual. lot of black grease around that for some reason. Nice. So what'd you get? 1? So what if I'm promoting alcohol use? What are you going to do about it? Okay, solid question to anybody who's here and watching. What is that hole for? Genuine question. I have no clue what that hole is for. This is the pivot hole. What is that? And it's not... That isn't for the detent, because the detent's right there. So what is that hole? And it goes all the way through. So Dan Stan, what's up? So I think this was made in March of 21. I think that's what this means. Yeah, I could see that working out. That B Shady, what's up? How's it going? So, oil. Regular mineral oil, by the way. I don't think I've seen B Shady in here before. And if I have, it was once. That was too much. There's a like button somewhere. No, never heard of it. I think you have to search for it if you really want to find it. Oh, but KO, you didn't screw that in all the way. I know. Because I used the other screw first. That's another common thing that I've noticed with these pair of threes is you close them and they bounce off the stop pin and they don't end up fully closed. And I can never seem to get it just right. It's either it bounces off or it doesn't, and it doesn't. See, every once in a while I can get it, but more often than not, it either bounces or it stops before it bounces. And I find that a little annoying. Not too bad, because I don't worry about it too much, but well, why don't I just try and sharpen it on the diamond plates? Then it'll be magnetized. How do you wash micarta scales? So that is a great question, and I'd love to answer it for you. I don't know what the answer is, but I will tell you what I would probably do. A sponge and water with Dawn dish soap. We've had this conversation on my stream before. There are some people who don't wash their micarta and it stinks. Bleach. Wouldn't bleach discolor it though? And I just greased this. It's a lot smoother than it was. Yeah, don't use bleach. I'm just gonna stick with what I said. Water and Dawn dish soap. Sure, but you want to get a deeper clean than that, because a surface clean, sure, you'll get rid of the stuff, you'll get rid of the stuff that's on top. But like on G10 where this is textured, you're gonna miss all the texturing. So you should use a sponge and Dawn dish soap and water. You'd be surprised how many people don't wash it at all. So my card is a little different. It's a little more porous than other handle materials, like G10, and we'll pull out some other handle materials like FRN, just stainless in general, titanium. Yeah, so micarta is more porous, which means it has more holes in it. And what'll happen is sweat, dead skin cells, stuff will pack into those pores. And then as things start to, for lack of better terms, rot, your knife will start to smell like really, really fucking bad. And you might not notice it because you carry it every day, but the people around you will start to notice. And I'm speaking from experience because one of the dudes that works at the pawn shop I go to, his knife stinks. I told him I'd clean it. He said he doesn't want it cleaned. So I said, okay, then I'm not going to talk to you about knives anymore because every time you pull it out, I can smell it from across the room. You mean the blades? I can see the blades cleaning up quite nicely. Carbon fiber is... I'd love to pull out more materials, but I don't have all that many around me right now. I just put all my knives away the other day. Anyway, the original plan for this stream was to try and sell stuff. I enjoy sharpening, but I hate the sound. Yep, I've got 2 Swiss Army knives. I don't know the models. And I have one Swiss Champ. Thing's ridiculously overpriced, but it's got so many tools. Do I have a screwdriver that's all in one piece? Well, I would too, but I'm stuck with you guys instead. When I'm sharpening at the pawn shop, I listen to music. Trust me, if they let me bring stuff home and live stream it, then I'd probably be talking to you guys still, but they don't let me do that because stuff is on eBay. And eBay, you have 2 days to ship things. Oh, I completely forgot. Screwdriver. So my only excuse for not carrying a fixed blade often is I don't wear a belt. And most of them come with a belt sheath. And I don't wear a belt, so I don't wear pants that have belt loops. Ooh, that smells good. Yeah. Did you want it or something? Now it smells like sugar cookies. And it's got a liner lock for the screwdriver only. Just think, you could have another one to give away. All you have to do is buy it and pay for shipping. Heck yeah. It did. It's got quite the edge on it. Yeah, there are fixed blades that I could pocket carry. I've yet to buy any though. I have been looking at a couple of them from Kaiser or whatever, but I just haven't bought them yet. No, get back here. Fuck no, I don't. Mini Tonto. You're despicable. Here, you want a Tonto? Have this. I'll sell this to you, since you seem to like the weird shit. Have a Tonto. I haven't even modified it yet. This one was going to get the most useful modification you could possibly put on it. And I still haven't done it. I bought this thing at full price and I regret it every single time I look at it. It's like $60. Ridiculous. Way overpriced. I need to find something to sharpen. All right, you have a good one, Steve. We'll see you later. Sucks because everything I have is already sharp. I can fix that. Time for some practice. I don't think it'll take much to destroy this edge. Paper test as is customary. There we go. That's the 600. We'll start on the 140. Yeah, well, it was like $5, so it's made in China, and yeah. You son of a bitch. Copy what? No, it's real. It's just they started making them in China now instead of in America. Well, that was quick. I never really got into the push sharpening because I can never hold an angle. Well, apparently it's a lot easier to hold an angle than I thought it was, so I'm sitting here worried about just about nothing. I just need more stuff out of the way on the right side than usual. That was easy. That was really, really easy. didn't know what I was so worried about. Yeah. It kind of always ends up happening with knives that have this big of a belly. And my Para 2 or PM2 has a blunt tip. There's nothing I can do about it. Well, welcome back, Aiden. Well, I'm sorry that the previous owner broke the tip off. Quite possible. Oh, I see. All right, we'll see you later, Aiden. Have a good one. Oh God, he remembered. Nope. This is an Atoma 140 grit. I'm reprofiling a CRKT Flat Out. Then we'll be moving on to the Atoma 600, and then after that we'll be moving to the a DMT. It is a very pointy knife. They're aggressive. They're a lot more aggressive than DMTs are. DMTs have the holes, and Atomas don't. What Atomas have instead, and I'll put it under a microscope to show you real quick, is little hills of diamonds. Well, that's not good. So these are the hills with placements between them, or lack of diamonds between them. The 140 grit removes a shit ton of material when you first get it. So I highly recommend breaking it in with something that uses a Scandi grind and it's cheap. Wear off the first little bit of diamonds, and then it'll be less aggressive, and then you can start using it on other knives. But it does start out extremely aggressive for a diamond plate, in my opinion. I'm not a professional when it comes to this stuff. Yeah, so both the Atomas and the microscope were donated by Hayden, who was just in here a little bit ago. He's a lot more proficient when it comes to sharpening. Well, you have a good one, AJ. price-wise, let's see. Let me go grab my other phone real quick and I'll look into them a little more. I didn't buy these. They were donated to the channel. I think they're a little more. They're not terrible. I know that. I think it's like 50 to 60 per side. Of course, you'll need to start off with buying one that has the aluminum base. But basically what it is, alright Google, don't fail me now. Let's see here. Well, there's only one left on this. And then the 600, there's 3 left. Okay. So what you might want to do, if you actually want to try these out, is you go on Amazon or something and buy the 140 grit plate with the aluminum base. It's going to cost a little more, but the aluminum base, you kind of need that. And then go over to Neve Knife Co. and buy a 600 grit plate for 40. And there's only 3 left. So, you know, out of the 12 of you that are in here, I don't think any of you are going to actually buy any, but I figured I'd bring it up. I've enjoyed them for the time that I've had them. I am in Mountain Time. It is 11:53 p.m. I go live. I'm trying to do it daily, but they're all nighttime. They're all like between 7 and 11. And most of the time they last into the morning. And then I don't go to bed and I regret it, so. So if you're on the East Coast, then what is it, almost 3? Almost 3 a.m.? So my DMT, I think I learned that I'm the one that destroyed it, actually. Not the fact that it was old when I got it. The fact that I tried reprofiling with it and took off almost all the stones. So this is no longer a 600 grit, as the fine indication would claim. It is roughly 1200 based off of what everybody thinks with how the edges look when I'm done. Let me wipe this off real quick and we'll look at the edge. There's the edge. That side looks crispy. Really, really good looking. And then we will clean it up with the DMT. And then it's going up for sale. Actually, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be showing tonight, I'm trying to sell. Clean. Looking good. Oh yeah. Wonder if I broke chat again. Nope, okay. I didn't apex at all. That is sad. Off we go again. Stupid pile. You still need reprofiled. Well, time to move down a grit and we'll see how this goes. So for anybody curious, this is not an ASMR stream. You're free to ask any questions that you want. Be more than happy to answer. I'm not sure if it's still in production. If you want this one, you can buy it though. We'll see how much they go for, and I will warn you that it's spring assisted. That's called the Flat Out. I fully disassembled this one, cleaned it, and put it back together, which I do quite often with knives. Would like to warn you, if you buy it, there is one spot that will not be as sharp as the rest of it. And that is right here, down towards the base, because if I reprofiled the whole thing, I'd be removing more material than I have to. And it just shortens the life of the knife. And I am quite reasonable with my prices. So let me look it up real quick and I'll see how much they go for. I'll see how much I can sell it for. eBay. Oh, no, yeah, it is assisted, not automatic. CRKT Flat Out. 89. Bullshit. It is not going to be selling for that much. Here's one for 33 with $10 in shipping. God damn. Dude needs to learn to find cheaper ways of shipping that shit. 20. 160. No. 40. 35. 45. 40. I'll do roughly in the middle at like 30 plus shipping, so 35. Oh, this edge is looking amazing. Hey, quit drying up on me. Might need to buy some more of that stuff. It smells like bubblegum. Looking good. Okay. Now we can move up. Move up to that. What would you call that? Heavily modified DMT? before and after, by the way. We're going to show that off with a 600 grit finish versus a 1200. Make sure that the edge is clean. Okay. There is a burr, which isn't a big deal. We're taking that off soon. Then the 1200 grit. Much, much cleaner. Back over to the 600. Oh yeah. Yep, that is exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to sell a bunch of knives to be able to afford new ones. And I try to go. So my pricing, the way that I price things is I go to a price where the end buyer will be happy, but a reseller won't be able to make much money on it. That's why I price things the way that I do. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'd be sticking it up for around there. And then I'm doing the $5 off deal because we hit 1,500 subscribers. So I think for the next month, I'm going to be doing that $5 off deal. So anything that I have up for sale on Blade Binge, just send me an offer that's $5 less, and I will accept the offer. Okay. Let's drop it here in just a sec. Well, when you sell a Mannix 2 lightweight for $75, I'm not surprised that it moved that quick. So I price things where I try and get them to sit for a couple weeks, and then somebody says, well, hey, I've been looking for one of those. And honestly, it's either that or I'm going to sell it to the pawn shop. I'll be sticking some Spyderco's up though. All right. The ever so present paper test. A little tiny bit of issues towards the tip. But again, it's just me removing more material than I need to. If I do sharpen it out. But I'm more than happy with how sharp that got. Paper towel. The paper towel test. Not bad. That wasn't great. Yeah. It's always after that first cut, and it just never wants to do it again. And the burr's removed. There is no burr. Well, see, I buy from pawn shops all the time, but I've started buying from the person who sells to the pawn shops. And I'm not all that worried about losing money, because I buy them for insane prices, but the PS... like Pawn Stars or... I'm planning on getting a pair of 3 in Magna Cut. Possibly. Yep, unfortunately, I've heard horror stories of losing knives. I've never lost one. Knock on wood. But I've heard it's a horrible experience, especially when you spend that much. I do carry some more expensive items, but I've never had the unfortunate luck of losing one. I'm honestly more scared of breaking this thing than I am of losing it. Oh, but why are you scared of breaking it? Asked literally nobody. But it is in Maximate, and they are known for being brittle. Anyway, Craig, if you're actually interested in the flat out, if you're in the US, I'd do 30 free shipping. I gotta show you guys some pictures of what happens to these things when you drop them. So let's start with what happens when you do any sort of prying. I'm not sure if he was actually interested in this thing. It's a CRKT Flat Out. Really pointy. So if you do any sort of prying with this knife, it ends up like that, where the blade just shatters. I've done the same thing. I won't tell them what it is. You know, if it's a good enough price, I'll just buy it. But then they know something's up because I'm always really picky. So they don't change the prices on me, luckily. So let's see what other stuff happens. This kind of stuff, where you get a crack. From excess force put on the blade up towards the tip. It'll just crack right there. And if you're unlucky enough to drop it, they end up in multiple pieces. And that's not the only person that's ever dropped them. These things seem to get dropped pretty often, and then the blade just shatters. Anyway, it's a very fragile knife. I have some more stuff going up for sale here pretty soon. Quite a bit. I've got a Rat 1 going up. I'm just going to pull everything out that I have going up for sale in the coming weeks. Dude, people stealing shit sucks. And you wonder why I don't particularly enjoy people. Okay, so I have one Benchmade, and it's not Benchmade branded. It's an HK made by Benchmade. I learned how to sharpen Tontos with it, and it is sharp, but I don't enjoy sharpening Tontos. So it's going to put a lot of people off because it's half serrated and it's a lockback, but it's a pretty smooth knife. Being able to flick open a lockback is an interesting feeling. The biggest downside of this knife, other than it is 9CR13, would be that there is a little bit of rust going on inside the liners. Now, this doesn't affect the action at all. It's just there, and I like to do full disclosure on everything, even to my own detriment, unfortunately. But yeah, it was made around the 2009 year. A good EDC, that's a great question. So probably the best bang for your buck that I'll be selling here pretty soon, and if you're in the US, I'd be more than happy to sell direct as well. The best bang for your buck knives that you can get from me are either the Rat 1, and this one's in D2, or I have 3 Civivi mini Praxises. Mini Praxi? Mini? You get the point. What knives am I trying to get my hands on? Great question. I've been buying auctions lately. The next auction has 2 Para 3s and 3 Enduras. So I'm more buy to sell lately. Not a whole lot, Brando. What about you? This is a pretty dang big knife, but it's comfortable. They make a Rat 2, which is smaller. I am doing just fine. How are you doing, Rich? I don't remember what the auction name is. It's just an app that I use. I don't remember it. At the moment, I'm buying and selling Spydercos to be able to afford a Chris Reeve. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. You sleep well. I got another leak coming up. I fully refurbish these. I take them apart, clean them, put grease where it's needed, replace any broken parts, and put them back together. I sharpen them if they need to be sharpened. I think I sharpened this one. Well, don't do that. That could be sharper. So the mini Praxis, I want to show you that real quick, because that's probably the best bang for your buck you're going to get from me, since you wanted something smaller than this. Give me just a sec, they're in another box. So this knife, this mini Praxis, I have a full-size Praxis too, but it's about the same size as that. This is in D2. I think it's got the factory edge too, and it is looking clean. So this is the knife I gave to my dad for Father's Day. and it is dealt. This isn't the exact knife, but you know, I've got more than one. So yeah, they take a beating. My dad's done some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen with one of these things, and it just keeps on pushing. It doesn't care. Probably for the size and the price, it's probably one of the best knives on the market. And of course, I fully disassemble, clean, and sharpen every one of them if needed. They all end up being taken apart and cleaned, but they don't always end up sharpened. Now, what do I have these up for? I think I have them up for like 25 on Blade Bench, but how much could I do for one of those? Because I think on Amazon right now they're 30, which is really hard to compete with Amazon as some random dude on the internet. Let's see my sell list. The rat in D2 is actually up for sale for 35 already. I've got an iridium. If you want that, that's actually a really good knife. The Mini Praxis, I have it sitting at 25. And I could do 20 because of the $5 off deal. So 20 plus shipping would be right around 25 anyway. 25 total for one of these things. Killer deal. And I have 3 of these. One is in black with a satin blade. The other 2 are these green ones. It is really hard to compete with Amazon in general. They've started dropping them below retail prices everywhere else. But then there's the problem of, is it a real one, or is it a fake one, or you start second guessing everything. But yeah, the black and satin one. What else do I have that's going up soon? I already put my ZT up for sale if anybody's interested. It's a ZT 0450 in S35. Randall, what's up? I figured out why you put Clippy as your profile pic. Yeah, here's my ZT. Oh, I don't even know why I'm showing you guys pictures of this. Just pull it out of the box, dumbass. Because I need to show you guys pictures of something that I have right next to the table. Solid condition, but it's been used. Not a big deal. On Blade Binge, I have it up for 200. I have it up there for 200 because of how much the 7.5% that Blade Binge takes. And I think they just upped it to 7.5. It used to be 7. Anyway, buy it directly from me. I'll do 180. Free shipping. Free insured and tracked shipping, by the way. Not that that's something to brag about, but oh, but why do you want to get rid of it for $50 off of retail? Because I want something else. God forbid I want to try something new. I know I'm sitting here asking questions that nobody's asking, but there's almost nobody talking, so I have to keep the people entertained somehow. I'll be putting the HK up here pretty soon. I need to see how much these things go for again. I am not, but I'd rather sell to people than sell to a business or trade. I don't enjoy trading. There's risk involved and it just doesn't sound fun to me. So HK 14452. $159. Let's see sold listings. One result. $150. Well, mine is not in new condition. But this one was new. And it sold for $149.95 plus shipping. Actual sold listing. Yep, you have a good one, Rich. We'll see you later. So yeah, if anybody's actually interested in this thing, I'll do like 90 free shipping. That's $60 off, 65 off of what a brand new one sold for. And then I've got a Tops MSF 4.0. Unfortunately, the previous owner sharpened it like this, and then I just had to continue with what they did, so it's not in new condition by any means. It was supposed to be a Scandi grind. Somebody obviously didn't know that. Freaking people. Just out of curiosity, how much does this one go for? sold items. Search. 76, 53. Wow, these are way cheaper than I was thinking they were. Especially since brand new, this thing's a $210 knife. I think I'm gonna try and sell this to another YouTuber. Now that I think about it. Somebody who can actually use it for testing. Give them a great deal on it or something, and the only reason I can do that is because the edge. That sounds interesting, but I'd rather just sell them directly to people. And I'm sure that way is a lot less hassle, but I can get more money. I'm like almost 100% sure I'll get more money selling directly to people than I will selling or sending them out to them. So real quick. Yeah. And yeah, there was a chip in the blade that I didn't want to take out because it would be removing too much material. Yep, there's that chip in there, but if I remove the chip, then I remove a ton of material to get rid of it. And it's just not worth it. Well, hey, it's almost been 2 hour stream, which means once we hit 2 hours, unless somebody interesting shows up or somebody that wants to continue talking continues talking, then I'm going to go ahead and end it, which is 20 minutes from now. 21 minutes from now. I wonder, will my Kershaw fit in here? I am doubting it. Hey, it fits. Well, there we go. Got a little box to put my most expensive knife in. Put a little cloth in there with it too. Keep it in place. There we go. Little case for my my expensive ass Kershaw. I guarantee you somebody in the comments is thinking your most expensive knife is a Kershaw. Yes, yes it is. I can show you the Balkan. Pull up a picture of it real quick. Oh, yeah. It's this. Wish more companies would use ceramic ball bearings. I think it's been out for a couple of years now. It's not super new. Shit. Guys, the mini Praxis went down in price. Everywhere. Or not everywhere, but Walmart and Amazon have them for 30. How in the fuck am I supposed to compete with that? Like at that price, I gotta sell them for like 20 with free shipping. And I'm barely making anything off of them. Which I'm barely making anything off of them anyway, but... And the reason why you gotta sell them for so much is because they don't come with the little case. Arizona, what's up? Well, let's pull out the expensive stuff. Yeah, I've never held one, but from the few testimonials that I've heard, it's a smaller knife than you'd expect for 60 bucks. Ultim is yellow plastic that is used in aircraft parts. PM3 is nice, or Para 3 is nice. So yeah, before Ultem was being used as a scale material. I might have some para 3s up for sale here pretty soon. If you want to stick around, I'm pretty sure at least one of them isn't called for. God damn it, I said Ultem, not... Whoa, wait a second now. The clear G, or the Jade G10 version is $10 less than the black one. And you can writ dye it any color that you want. That's actually a decent deal. The same materials as the regular one. Just so this is Ultem. That's where the term piss knife came from, was because it looks like dehydrated piss. That's where that term came from. But yeah, Ultem was originally, I'm pretty sure it was originally used for aircraft parts. Oh shit. And they don't just use PVD coating. It's full on DLC, which is a step up from PVD. DLC coating on D2 for $50. Okay. So I'm not going to tell you guys to buy that. And the reason why I'm not is because you can get the same materials from the Best Tech Good Boy on Blade HQ. The Blade HQ exclusive. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's not exclusive. Oh, and they call it PVD on this one. Okay. Give me just a sec, guys. That's actually pretty freaking funny. Okay, give me just a sec. Okay, yeah. So the Balkan is how big? How long is the blade on the Balkan? Under 3 inches. It is 2.75 inches, okay? Says it right there. Or you can go over here for like $4 more. You get 3.5 inches of DLC coated D2. The downside, it's a button lock. I still don't have anything in Ultem because I don't like yellow. You're not going to notice it, but there's a line right there. This is a compound ground drop point. And I've got to go find mine to show you guys what I'm talking about because it's not going to make much sense. Not that I'm going to try and close it on my hands, but I've yet to get this thing to fail. So this is how big this knife is. And this is that compound grind I'm talking about. It has a crowned spine, honestly. Now, I'm not sure if I read it somewhere or if I just called it that, but when this thing came out, I called it luxury on a budget. It's comfortable, really, really solid jimping on the back. Small, tight, but it catches your thumb. Right here works well too. This is right on the edge of the blade size that I would carry, sitting at 3.5 inches. Now you can get the white one with DLC coating. Oh, you mean the oh, what's the name? I know it's the Arbor knife from Olive Knives. Apparently they didn't like me or something. We had a whole deal made out that they would be sending me one of their lentas when it came out, and then they ghosted me. Still bummed about that. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand you may not want to send a $300 knife to a dude on YouTube that had less than 1,000 subscribers at the time, but I'm trying, man. Now that sucks. That right there is a bad day. Makes you wonder who you can sue about it. Well, the only thing I can do is tell you that I'd be happy to sell you some shit to replace it. That's all I can do. Yeah, theft sucks. So this one isn't going up for sale, but I thought I'd show it up. Or show it off. That would be awesome. I guess we'll see what I have available by then. I'm willing to bet that this thing will not have sold, but you never know. This one's mine. Put it back in the box. This one's up for sale though. Yeah, I have it priced high at 200. And the reason I have it priced there is because Blade Binge takes a 7.5% cut. After the 7.5%, I end up with slightly more than I wanted to sell it for direct. However, if somebody buys it directly from me, I will happily drop the price. Oh, but KO, why are you cleaning off a Kershaw? It's just a Kershaw. Well, uninformed person, I would be more than happy to show you. After I put it away. Which I'm assuming like everybody's uninformed on this because there aren't very many of them. So, I'm not trying to be mean about it, I'm just saying a lot of people are probably uninformed on that. Kershaw 1725 SG2. And the last one of these that sold on Arizona Custom Knives sold for a whopping $445. A few people in the comment section were like, why the fuck is it so expensive? Keep us updated on the progress. I'm interested in hearing how that goes. It's a junkyard dog too, in titanium and SG2. There are 1,000 of them. That is why it is so expensive. Because there are only 1,000. They're pretty old too. Hell, it's old enough to vote. Yeah, that knife is old enough to vote in a couple months. Give me a sec. What year were you made? November of 2007. It's been around a while. So, Turpey's tackle, I'm curious, what do you think is a fair price for a fully refurbished Kershaw leak? Well, I don't have a blur in olive. Got a leak though. And actually, I have two. Oh, but KO, why the fuck does that thing look brown? Well, 70? Yeah, they're not even selling for 35. Well, it was made in October of 2007. So originally it was this color. Now it's this color. And they don't make them with the black blade anymore. They don't make the olive green with the black blade anymore. Hey, you'd think they'd sell. Well, actually, brand new they sell for like 75. So I think for a fully cleaned one, I think my price is more than fair. At least I think so. I don't know. They're making them in new steels and stuff now, so it is what it is. Well, we've been streaming. Oh, you mean the discoloration? Well, it's anodized aluminum. Yep, I clean and sharpen. So what I do is I completely tear these things down to where I can probably show you a picture. Because I do cleaning services for knives on Facebook. It's a solid screwdriver set. For the price, it's pretty hard to beat. Marketplace. Sell. My stuff. Okay. So, this rat one in OS 8 was full of vegetable oil. What I ended up doing is I took it apart. Every single piece. That's 31 pieces right there. And then I clean them all by hand. And then I put them back together. And we end up with this. And then for the leak, I do a full teardown. And there's not as many parts on the leak as there are on the rat one, but let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 pieces on the Kershaw leak. And then I put them back together. Craig, you won't sell it unless it's around 20. That's the worst part. And people seem to forget. I think that this is what they forget, right? It's an American-made knife. They're made in America. It has a solid steel with a solid heat treat. They're not crappy knives. Oh yeah, I live stream it all. And is this one actually sharp? Yeah, in the listing for this, I stated that there was a dull spot right here in this area because if I decided that I was going to sharpen it out, then it'd be removing a ton of material. Oh, it's big. I can pull the cutting board out. I have mine listed at 35 and they haven't sold in weeks. I haven't sold one. Sure, they get plenty of favorites, people that want them, but those people are the ones that are waiting for the price to drop. So, the blade is, I believe, 3.675 inches. Overall length, 8.5. So this one isn't as sharp as it could be. I could make it way sharper, but if I decided to do that, I'd be removing a significant amount of material. And if I removed all that material, it's going to lose a lot of the life of the blade. You can see, hopefully, yeah, you can see the chips right along this area. But if I remove those, then I'll be removing a shit ton more material than I have to. Well, I prefer American made too, but God damn, their prices are high. Like Spyderco, holy shit, those things are expensive. Rico, what's up? Or Reco? Can you tell me which one it is? Yeah, the Buck Bantam is a decent knife. I will never talk shit about that thing. It's comfortable, it's got a halfway decent steel, and it's cheap. The second, so it's Reco? Okay. I have been doing just fine. So here in Idaho, I can carry a knife of any length almost anywhere. There are certain buildings you can't. Government buildings and schools are included in those. You cannot carry knives of any length in those buildings. Multi-tools are okay though, without the blade. You know, the obvious shit. Like, duh. But anyway, continuing on. I can open carry anything. I can concealed carry anything. Ganzo bothers me with a few certain things. They do a lot of copying. They copy like Spyderco and they copy Ontario with their rat model, and yeah, that stuff bothers me. If they came out with more original stuff, I'd be happier with them. Chris Reeve knives, they don't sell directly to people. Trust me, I've asked. Instead, they sell to dealers, such as Blade HQ and Knife Center. Well, it's the middle of summer and we might still get snow. You went and bought 4 SOG products. That's one of the ones you were bummed out about. Yeah. Well, I'll be honest, if I was going to recommend any of them. Okay. I go with Blade HQ because I do. It's what I started with, and I have a brand loyalty thing. I've heard a lot of horror stories, and it's unfortunate that they've moved over to using FedEx for shipping. But and I've heard other things about their pre-order system, where if you pre-order a knife, you won't get it until after the first set of people that don't pre-order receive theirs. And I think that's disgusting business practice. If you're going to sell pre-orders, that shit needs to be to their door first before anybody else gets it. I find ballad songs are just too expensive and a little too flashy for what I would be doing. That's my only problem with ballad songs. I'm going to do something stupid and I'm going to end up getting hurt. Like, God forbid, I want to try out Magpul's new knife. Like, Magpul's been pushing this knife for months now, and I still haven't seen one. Like, Magpul, I buy your magazines all the time. They're the only magazines I use. Please, give me a glimpse of this knife that has new technology. So the Kiku is interesting, but it's extremely hard to sharpen. That would be the model I'd be looking into as well. Yeah, so it's still on pre-order, and it's been on pre-order for months. No, the Kiku, I'll show you what the Kiku is. It's small. Kiku. It's that. And the reason why I would consider it hard to sharpen is that recurve that goes directly into a belly. There's no flat section on this. It's kind of just, hey, you're going to have issues sharpening me. Anyway, the interesting thing about this knife that actually sets it apart, if I zoom in far enough, you may notice a pattern right there. Or if I zoom out and I zoom in down towards the bottom here, you'll notice a pattern. It has carbon fiber liners. Really, really weird. I'm not super worried about a non-disclosure agreement or anything like that. I just want that knife because it looks weird and the new technology. I'm very, very interested in the new technology. Yeah, it had carbon fiber liners. So for anybody curious about the knife we're talking about, this is it. This is Magpul's Breslow, I believe. I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to pronounce that. But it is S35VN that has been metal injection molded into a blade. It's priced pretty damn high though. It's a new technology when you look in at the knife side of things. I know that metal injection molding's been around for a bit, but using it for a knife blade with powder metal stainlesses is interesting. It's something I haven't seen before. And it's awesome that it's made in the US and blah, 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 but it's priced really high. Because it's just S35VN. But I understand. I do. And that's what they did the metal injection molding for, I assume, is that cutout right there. That's the stop pin that rotates around this collar. You're right, it's high, but it's not Benchmade high. I mean, at the very least, you're getting full liners. Full liners, not partial liners, Benchmade. Take a page out of this book. Freaking turds. The thumb stud on what? The flicker? Oh. Wait. Is that a Kershaw that you're talking about? I'll look that up real quick. Nope, that doesn't look familiar. So for anybody curious, I have not handled a Rat 1.5. For anybody curious, here on my channel we make fun of Benchmade because they're priced extremely high for the materials that you get, and it's not worth it. I advocate for, and I know it sounds mean, but I advocate for a boycott of Benchmade until they lower their prices. A Benchmade bug out, the base model in S30V, should not be $190. Right? That's disgusting. Now let's talk about things that are in a similar price range to 180, right? A Rat 2. Or not a Rat 2. A Para 3. You could get a Para 3 brand new for a similar price, right around 200. Where did I put my Para 3? Oh, dumbass. You could get a regular Para 3 for around 200 with G10 scales. Not FRN, G10. Ooh. What else could you get? Well, You could get 4 of these. For an extra $40, you could get one of these. You could buy 1.5 of these. You could buy for $20 more. You could buy one of these. For $23 more, you could buy one of these. This is within that price range. Except for this one. Again, you could buy 4 of these for the price of 1 bug out. If not more, by the way. Now, let's be clear. Benchmade wasn't always badly priced. Okay. They started out priced reasonably with the bug out. I think it started out at like 90 in S30V. And S30V is not a new steel, but back then it was pretty new. Okay. Now let's talk about, real quick, because I'm curious, when did the bug out come out? It came out in, that was it, 2017? No. It's gotta be older than that. No. Shit. It was made in 20, I thought it was like 20 years old. Shit's not even 10. Are you kidding me? What did a bug out originally cost? What did a Benchmade bug out originally cost? It was priced at $135, but it was available at $120 at REI when it first came out. Okay. $120. Okay. In 2017, mind you. So let's do some inflation tests, right? We'll just go with the full price. $135 in 2017 worth today. You're shitting me. Okay, the dollar isn't worth anything. I hate to say it, but $135 in 2017 is $177.92 now. If they had them priced at 180, it's actually pretty much on point. Which is stupid, by the way. So, I'm going to continue talking shit, But now I have reference on pricing. But I'm still talking shit. I have like 180 knives in total. 40 of them are Kershaw's. They make more than one blade shape. Have you seen the Essenza? It's different, I swear. See? It's just got a giant fucking hole on it. That's so fucking ugly. Somebody said, this is a good idea, and they actually made it. Look at this. Look at this and tell me that it looks good. Now stop lying to yourself when you say that. Made by Fox? No way. It has the Fox Knives logo. It's stupid looking. Let me just pull out my rectangle that has a bulge. And this is what you pull out of your pocket. I thought for sure that Essenza was something to do with Chris Reeve, but apparently not. Let's look at all the Spydercos that Blade HQ has and see if there's anything different. Genuinely different, not just like, oh, that's kind of different. Oh, we got one. The Dodo. And that's about it. That's all I can think of at the moment. That thing's goofy. The Smock. Yeah. That's a different blade shape. That one's not a bad looking knife though. The Yo Jumbo, and the Mini Yojimbo or whatever it is. Like even their fixed blades have a. Are you shitting me? I don't want VIP access. Even their fixed blades have a fucking hole in them. Tell me why that makes sense. I would agree that the Dodo looks purpose built, but I don't think they ever told you what the purpose was. And then there's the question of how the hell are you supposed to sharpen that thing? Because that is round. Let's actually look at the. Let's go price to low to high, and we'll see what interesting stuff happens. Stickers, knife sheaths, not a big deal. Kitchen knives with a fucking hole in them. Tell me that makes sense. Why is there a hole in a kitchen knife? Come on, Spyderco. Sal, tell me. Tell me why. Just so people can recognize that it is your brand. Probably. I would agree it's just branding, but it's stupid. Okay, guys, so I'm going to tell you right now. Spyderco has a knife called the Bug. Okay? It has a 1.3-inch blade. Okay? So that is from this over to about right there long. Okay? We all understand that? This long. Right? How much would you pay for a knife with a blade that is 1.3 inches long? Because I would pay about $10. But I'll admit, that's just me being a reasonable person. So it's 27, 1.3-inch blade. My God. And people buy these things. It's my fault for being reasonable. I'll agree with that. Spyderco Ambitious, 2.25 inches, $43.50. Spyderco Ambitious DLC, 47. I haven't messed with Devo, so I can't talk on them, but I used to talk to Kevin every once in a while. I haven't talked to him in a while. Okay, Brando, do we include the Bird brand? Because Bird is part of Spyderco. I don't know. I never really got into his stuff, to be honest. So are we including Bird, BYRD, because that is a subsidiary. Sometimes it's worth the price. Because if that's included, here, have a different blade shape. It's fugly, but it's a different blade shape. It actually looks like a bird. The Goonie. The bird Goonie. Oh, why do I still do this? I'm torturing myself. The roadie, that one's different. Well, we'll see what I have when you've got money. I'll be trying to buy a bunch of Spyderco auctions. I do not know how to spell that or how to pronounce that, but hi, how you doing? Now, one knife that Spyderco makes that I think is worth the price is the Spyderco Roadie XL. It's a slip joint, and not everybody's going to be interested in that. But, hey, Brando, the Spyderco stock with a hole. So the Roadie XL is a pretty good knife for the price, and the reason I say that, let me find it first. Okay, we'll see you later then, Turpy. Have a good one. I can understand leaving after seeing that, to be honest. So the Roadie XL has FRN scales, but they're not the lightweight scales. It's a 2.7-inch blade in M398. Insane edge retention for under $90. I thought it was priced wrong when I first saw that. Turns out it wasn't. That's just how much they go for. And I'll bet you could find one used for less than that. It is a slip joint, yes. but blade material makes it worth it to me. No, not a Cold Steel Mayhem. I don't think I ever plan on owning one of those. I could come up with a. So I can't do 2,000 at once. I'm going to put it that way. And I have my reasons for that. Um, but I can see what I can come up with. If you want to send me a message on Instagram, we'll see what we can do. Get you a decent collection for like somewhere between 500 and 1,000. I can't have. I'm limited to how much money I can have in my bank account, is the problem. 69 bucks for an 8010 is a pretty damn good price. But yeah, I'll come up with a package that I can get you. And it also depends on how many knives you want. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. Midway has some great deals. Yep, you have a good one, Turpy. We'll see you later. I'm probably going to head to bed here pretty soon, too. Here pretty soon does not mean now, though. I'm still searching for a different blade shape. All right, we'll see you later, Brando. You have a good one. And I still haven't found a different blade shape yet. Yep, I'll be honest. Midway had deals that were good enough that I actually started wondering if they were a scam, which is a wild thought. Yep, you have a good one, Brando. We'll see you later. I doubt I'll sleep much, unfortunately, but I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you. I know Midway is legit. I just thought at some of the prices that they were doing, like literally 50% off of some things, I thought for sure it was a scam. I'll be honest, guys, I'm having trouble finding a blade shape from Spyderco that doesn't look like that. And when I say that, everybody in here knows what I'm talking about when I say that. And honestly, I'm kind of just looking because I want to buy something maybe. A Recon 1. What do I have an American Lawman if you want it. It's an S35. Thing's a thick bastard too. You guys seen the Spyderco Patadese? Patadese nuts? No, it's actually a real knife. Funny name. Very funny name. That's the exact one that I was thinking of. The Mayhem and like S35 VN that was all DLC coded. I was trying to get Knives, I guess, to buy that thing. But he didn't have the money to do it at the time, and then it was gone. So you're the one that bought it, huh? Small world. That is a very funny thought to me, actually. I didn't think I'd ever meet the person that bought it. I don't know if anybody else is going to find this funny. The Spyderco McBee. Right? The designer is McNeese. The McBee's McNeese. When I first heard that, I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. The Dodo, the Spy Opera, and the Jimbo slash Jumbo series, those are the only different blade shapes from Spyderco. Other than that, they pretty much do all look the same. You have a good one, Craig. I think you're the last person in here that's actually willing to talk, so other than Arizona, if he's still here. You have a great night, though. We will see you later. Can I get a sage in 15V? I finally found the different blade shape from Spyderco. I need to keep that thing in mind. No, I don't want Sage 5 and Rex 121. I want one in 15V. Just something in 15V. Please. For under 300 maybe? Nope. Damn. Did they never make a Sage 5? Doesn't look like it. Oh well. I might end up with one. I don't know. Not super worried about it, to be honest. Anyway. I don't have anybody else talking. And I'm kind of just talking to myself. So I think we'll probably end it here. Start putting knives away. Yep. You have a great one, Arizona. We'll see you later. Oh. what else goes in this box? Okay. This goes over here. This. Check and make sure it's sharp. Yep. That will go into the to be sold box. This one goes in the for sale box. To be sold box. For sale. To be sold. To be sold. I think that's it. Oh, no. To be sold. Pretty sure that's it. All right, that's going to be it for tonight. Appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever it is. I'll probably be streaming sometime tomorrow or, well, later today, technically. So yeah, we'll see you guys later. And you have a good one, Arizona.